Hello everyone. I'm happy to say hello to you from Perm, Russia, and I have here with me two wonderful people, with whom I started my Hooponopono training, and I would like to introduce you to them. Wonderful. Here we go.
That's live.
That's live, yeah.
Live from Perm.
Yeah, live from Perm, actually. Yeah. Well, I would like to introduce you today, authorized IZI LLC instructor Jean-Pierre DeLuca.
Hello.
And coordinator of Boston, Massachusetts, Canada. Where was the?
Montreal. Yeah.
Montreal and Paris, France. Martine Brunet. Welcome.
Thank
Welcome. Well, let's talk about Hooponopono. And my favorite question to you is, how did you find out about the Hooponopono?
It was about almost 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was at a different type of class of training, and one of the people I met, one of my friends, now told me there's something more powerful than what we do now. It's called Hooponopono, and it's a system that comes from Hawaii. I said, okay, what is it all about? Well, if you're interested, there's a class coming up in a couple of months in Boston, and it will be taught by Dr. Yulen. I said, sure. So I just enrolled and signed it. That was my first class.
So basically, before Hooponopono, you tried to attend different classes, and what you were searching for?
I don't really know. I was into mind control.
Mind control?
Yeah, by Dr. Silva. And like I said, you're on a path of discovery. I was not looking for something specific, and I came across Hooponopono at the time.
Was it a quick fix for you? The Hooponopono itself, was it a big concept for you, or what?
Not at all. Matter of fact, for many years, it did not grasp me at all.
No.
I went to those classes many times, and I said, this is not for me.
Okay.
I went over several years in a row, met Dr. Yulen many times, and they didn't grasp me at all. I don't know why I was going back, but I kept going back and back and back. And one day just clicked. It took me many years before it really had an impact on me.
What about Martine?
Actually, I had a similar experience in as much as at first I met JP, and he told me that he was doing Hooponopono, and personally I am very intellectual, and therefore it is really difficult to grasp the concept of Hooponopono. And so one day I went to a class in Philadelphia, and I was very angry because I could not understand the concept. But again, like JP, I kept coming back. I had to go back and back. And then one day I did get it, and now it's changed my life, actually.
How long did it take for you to understand it?
I'd like to say it took 2 or 3 years, I would say.
2 or 3 years?
Easily 2 or 3 years, yes.
Yeah. What about you?
5, 6, 7, I don't really know.
5, 6, 7.
I was rejecting the concept.
Rejecting.
I was not doing it, I was just rejecting, and I can see that quite a few students have the same experience. They want to analyze it, they want to try to understand it instead of just doing it.
Just doing it.
When I started doing it, things got clear and clear in my mind. But at first I was like, no, it doesn't make any sense. I don't want to do it. So there was a stop in my mind, and my intellectual was telling me, this is nonsense. What are you doing? You're wasting your time. And then one day I decided internally, okay, I'm going to give the system a chance. I'm going to just do it. And it took a while and some discipline, and I start doing it. I start feeling more at peace. And just things just click. A couple of things got in my mind. I said, oh yeah, that makes sense. It was a really long process. And at least for me, I don't know about other people, but it took me a while to accept what this is all about. I was a control freak. And Hooponopono is all about controlling nothing. Just doing the exercise, doing the cleaning, and just see what unfolds. And for me, it was really difficult to accept that. because I was trying to understand the concept.
It was easier to hold and control everything, was it? Yeah.
I didn't control anything, but my mind was like, it's all about control, and it's not what it is. It's all about letting go, letting God. And for me, it was a concept of God itself was something I rejected for many, many years.
Yeah.
And it's just interesting today that I'm teaching a class for something I did not expect.
In Russia.
On top of that.
Right?
You never know.
Yeah, you never know where. Okay, what's your experience itself with Hooponopono? Any results, or what's something really struck your mind and you could say, okay, it can't be, but it's my life right now?
Yes, a lot of them. As a matter of fact, when I started doing the Hooponopono, practicing the cleaning, one of the most difficult challenges for me was to do it without any expectations. Because I don't know about you folks, but for me, when I do something, I expect to see some results. And Hooponopono is about doing your cleaning without expecting anything, and just accept what's unfold, what is correct for you. So where could I start? On health, on relationship, on love, on life in general. A lot of things happen over the years. I can give you an example. I was doing a lot of traveling international, and I was going to Japan on a regular basis, and I booked a trip to go from Boston to Tokyo. And when I was doing the bookings of the flight, I had several options, two of them. One was to fly from Boston to New York and to JFK to Tokyo. Another one was to fly from Boston to LA and then to Tokyo. And what was interesting, I didn't know which one to pick. It would have made more sense to take the one from Boston to LA because it's almost half the way. So you kind of break the flight into equal sections or close. And for some reason, I took the one from Boston to JFK, then to Tokyo, which would have been the longest leg. So anyway, that day I went on board, flew to New York City, and then I picked up my cell phone, just told my wife, said, baby, it's the last time I'm going to say hello to my cell phone because it doesn't work international at the time. And she said, no, something incredible just happened. I said, what happened? Well, a flight just hit the towers in Manhattan. Really? And in my mind, I thought it was a small airplane. Somebody got drunk or something. I don't know. Come to find out, it was a jet. It was not a small plane. And
So
it was
it's
September
9/11.
11th. Yeah.
September 11th.
And so they shut down the airport. I found my way back home. And only 2 or 3 months later, I realized that the second flight that hit the second tower was the flight I would have taken if I would have flew from Boston to LA.
So you was like one click away from being there. Wow, that's really powerful.
So a lot of different examples like that happened to me, and why? I don't know. At that time I thought, wow, I must have born under a good star. 2 years later, I was diagnosed with an incurable disease called multiple myeloma, which is a cancer of the bone marrow. I was given 2 to 5 years to live, and it's been over 12 years. Why?
12 years after this. Wow.
There are a lot of things like that. Relationship with my stepdaughter, which I mean was one of the most wonderful experiences of my life. I could go on and on for hours like that.
Wow.
You just clean and some things happen.
Well, like you said about the stepdaughter, could you please tell how it was happening and what cleaning did for you?
Okay. When Martine and I decided to live together, she has a daughter named Delphine. She was 12 years old at the time, and all of a sudden we decided to live together in a small town. And for that 12 years old kid, I was the bad guy because I broke her world. I destroyed her environment, her friends. Now there was some animosity, etc., etc. So I keep cleaning, and it took years and years, and for the first 4 or 5 years at least, she would not talk to me. She was ignoring me. Oh yeah, it was difficult. So it was difficult for me to accept that. There was nothing I could do much. I kept cleaning. And years down the line, I remember we had breakfast, was I guess a Saturday or Sunday, I don't remember actually. And Martine and I, we have our spot at the table. I hit a one location, she was next to me. So that day there was a nice gift, wrapped up gift and a letter on my side, and I told Martine, that's probably for you, because I didn't expect anything from Delphine, obviously. And she said, no, I don't think so, I think that's for you. So anyway, I opened the letter, the nice card rather, and it was saying, Happy Father's Day.
Oh, wow.
And Delphine was 21 years old, so it was 9 years after that. So for me, it was like,
9 years of cleaning in order to come to that point. Wow. What relationship look like now?
We are buddies. We love each other.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. Matter of fact, we always, Martina and I discuss about that, to be able to go from a point where there was no relationship, it was like almost a war. I never engaged. I just always let go. I was trying to put myself in the shoes, 12 years old kid, and this big guy destroying my life. So there is some understanding to some degree. I just keep cleaning, and when this happened, I was like, wow, I did not expect that ever to happen.
I know, yeah.
And now we're buddies, we love each other, it's wonderful.
But Martine, like if we move back in life, I know that we have a lot of divorced women in Russia who is afraid because of the kids to start, brand new relationship and to move forward with life. And a lot of women just try to avoid the marriage or try to avoid relationship at all because of, kids acting this way. How was it for you, like for mother and daughter relationship? And here we go, JP showed up.
It was, it was also very difficult because basically she did not accept that I was divorcing. And so for a long time, and also she became a teenager at the same time. So teenage is always very difficult anyway. And so the combination of the two, the relationship was very difficult because on top of that, I wanted to tell her what to do with her life. And I wanted to be very present. And I realized with Hooponopono that it's really all inside you. Everything is inside you. So when I started not engaging and not judging and not telling her what to do, gradually she became more available. And then now, we have the greatest relationship. It is, yes, it is very difficult at the beginning because you're dealing with, she's hurt. They are hurt and they are confused and they hate you, and because they don't want the world to change, and that's understandable. But you also, for me, it was also, I still needed to be a mother, but what kind of mother was I going to be? And Hooponopono helps tremendously because it helps you step away and, okay, this is all inside me and I can do something about it without engaging with her, and once I realized that, it didn't take all that long actually. But then we began to have a relationship because I wasn't judging her, I wasn't telling her what to do, but still I was there. So it's difficult to be there and just not say anything because sometimes you have to.
Because the thing is,
they provoke you.
Most of the time, woman is in between two sides, between husband and between child.
Yes.
So for you as a mother, what did you clean? Like, do you have any details you cleaned with? Do you remember that?
You clean on the relationship a lot because, personally, I saw if you divorce, it's somewhere it's a failure. It's a failure to communicate. It's a failure of choice. It's a failure of many things, and therefore you have to clean because. In my mind, because I was now with JP, I did not want to bring the past, whatever I did wrong in the past relationship, in the new relationship. So you also have to clean with that. It's not. It's not. Oh, it's his fault, or it's yours. Also, you have to look at it from the point of view of, okay, what did I do to, what contributed to this? And that takes a long time because you have to think of really in terms of, what did I not do or do that contributed to this relationship, and how do I let go of the relationship as well, and what do I learn from it? And so it's a lot of introspection. You look at yourself and
Inside.
Yes,
Everything is inside.
everything's inside, and you have to first of all also admit that everything is inside. It's also about you, but not you as a person. It's you as the memories that are in you, that are contributing to making you say this or making you behave like this, and all of that you have to let go, and so that you can have have hope of having a successful relationship. Hello.
Little kids.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, as you noticed, Jean-Pierre and Martine are a couple. So, and I think majority of people would ask, okay, you're both in Hooponopono. How does it work for you in terms of the relationship? Is it better? You don't fight at all? Or what's going on? Tell us all.